Hi guys, welcome back to another timeless reading. This is a timeless reading filmed on Sunday, February 23rd, 2025. Today we're pulling from the Maccabee tarot cards. This is one of those decks I definitely recommend. I'll show a better picture of it. So we're getting the Six of Boons, Six of Wands. You will be the victor wearing the wreath. They're showing like your third eye chakra. I should have done meditation, but we went out walking, so sort of like a meditation, but I definitely feel like, with this Pisces new moon, you're feeling a lot of things. It's remember we're talking about this is a jubilee year. You probably hear like, the Pope and all of them talking about this as a jubilee and everything like that. I feel like it's because this is an emotional jubilee. They said this is a spiritual jubilee in the fact of emotions, like abundance. You know what I mean? We kept getting these abundance cards, but so for us, this is leading, like this week, it leads up to Shane's 8-year passing, right? So, memories come up. From Valentine's Day on, there's just like a slew of events that happen. But I feel like the Six of Boons, you will be successful. With myself, I'm like, I rather feel myself through these emotions than sit there and, yeah, I could have drank, but I was, I'm ovulating, so I just don't want to sit there and make the cycle worse. So heading into the new moon, you know what I mean? Release, we always talk about release, but you know what I mean? It's harder when you're someone like myself or someone that, as they say, those that are able to see, let them see. Those that are able to hear, let them hear. So I had this very vivid dream, and I'm very lucky. I know a lot of people that I have read for would like, I would give anything, and it's just like, yeah, but it does sit there and take an emotional toll on you. So they're showing you will be victorious. They are showing the Two of Cups. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like with the Two of Cups, it's like the good and the bad. Remember, we were getting a lot of cards talking about that. I was like reading, I think it was the last posting that I did, and it was talking about like that balance of good and evil. You know what I mean? The negative and the positive. And I feel like for a lot of us, especially if you deal with anxiety, anyone that deals with anxiety, you don't have to watch the whole Inside Out 2. But I definitely recommend where, anxiety starts going and making itself into a tornado, and you see how joy, this is something that Pastor West is talking about. This is something about Joyce Myers has been talking about. It's like we rob ourselves of our happiness in that day. I resonated with anxiety because it's like we got to think about the next 4 years, because she was trying out for the hockey team. She gets in, her friends are going to new school. These are her friends for the next 4 years. You know what I mean? So I was just like, yeah, I definitely resonate with that. But I could also resonate with the fact that's where it's like, you know what I mean? The seeds that other people have planted, and this is where I talk about. I believe her name is Maya, Jovi's wife. Forgive me that I don't know her name, but her daughter's name is Maya, and she was teaching her what was fact and what is an opinion. She's like, Maya loves her yellow dress, and she's like, is that a fact or an opinion? She goes, that is a fact. I love my yellow dress. She goes, the girls in your class don't like your blonde hair. She goes, is that a fact or an opinion? She goes, that's an opinion. So I love the fact that she's teaching her that at a young age. And I'm trying to plant these seeds in my children. I have been for a long time. You know what I mean? But I feel like when other, certain situations come up, I ask Yahweh Yeshua, I'm like, please grant me the words, the speech to sit there and speak words that will resonate with them. Present me with, materials or opportunities to sit there and, you know what I mean? Tribal Trails this week was about the same thing, how his anxiety, you know, it could have taken over his life, and he could have, repeated, history's past, and he didn't. He worked his way through it, and he's like, even taking the smallest steps, and I even saw that, and I was saying that to someone else, taking the smallest steps in the right direction will lead you to where you need to be going. Like, that's why, God bless, I love Christy Howard, because, I hate the fact that she went through what she went through with her sister, but it's like, it makes her the empathetic soul that she is, and I feel like that's why so many people resonate with her. You know what I mean? Even on her worst days, and it's like nobody would dare film, and she's sitting there and she's like, in her head, and she's crying, and I just want to sit there and reach through the camera and give her a big hug, because it's like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's been 8 years for us, but it's just like this weekend definitely felt like it was just yesterday. I'm an emotional person. A lot of people chop it up to hormones. I am cycling, about to cycle. So it's like, oh yeah, it's on higher, you know what I mean? Like I could see, you know what I mean? But it's just like being kind to yourself, and like I said, I rather feel what I'm feeling than sit there and numb it out with alcohol, numb it out with with drugs or whatever, some substance to knock it out. And it's just like, I rather feel what I'm feeling, so I don't allow it to bleed over the rest of my life. We have nightmare cups, and I feel like this is what they're saying. It's like, at this time, you got to do things that fill your cup. You know what I mean? It's just like, who, I can't remember his name. Khloe Kardashian just did like her vlog class with him. Vlogcast. But he is a gentleman that I've seen and resonated with for a long time. He left the corporate world. He became a monk in India, and he shares his journey so eloquently. He just, you know what I mean? Just how he speaks, and they're the guilt of they're like, who's going to take care of your parents when they get older? Like that's a lot of weight to weigh on someone. But you know what I mean? It's just like, who's filling your cup? You know what I mean? Today I did not feel, like I said to my mom, I said, we should go walking. Like I was just like, I definitely need to get out of the house, get some fresh air. I did not want to go this morning. I did not. It's cloudy out, great day to sleep in. I could have slept in. I was like, get up, let's go for a walk. I called her, I said, are we going or not? If she wasn't going to walk, I think I would have walked up my street. But it's just like, sometimes you just need to sit there and oxygenate your body. I feel like when you're feeling those, if you're able to, you know what I mean? You're in your emotions, I feel like that's the best thing. You know what I mean? It's just, get yourself out there, and I feel like it's like breaking up the emotions that you're feeling, or it's like, yes, feel what you're feeling, you know what I mean? Because I'd rather feel it now than bleed it out, if I ever end up in another relationship, or the relationships that matter the most to me. You know what I mean? Because I have the tendency, and I will be honest, of taking out my emotional, I guess, insecurities or emotional garbage it's not garbage, Anyone that has gone through a grief journey, and I don't wish it on anybody, you know what I mean, understands. It's something you carry with you always. And it's not like you want to sit there and bleed it all over that's what I'm saying. I don't want it running all over my everyday life. It is what it is. I have to feel what I'm feeling. You know what I mean? This is the price we pay for love, unfortunately. I am very lucky that I get to have dream dates with him. You know what I mean? And it's one of the times when I said that, like, when the boys were really young and they were homeschooling and they were doing their arts, their crafts, their music, their, like, everything. You know what I mean? It was just like everything was just so perfect, synchronistic harmony. Shane was working for the private sector. I was doing my thing with surrogacy. You know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? I love that time. But it's like, I wouldn't take away from this time. You know what I mean? It's just, we got to keep moving forward. Sometimes it's not easy. I love this. The fact that we have the hermit crab. I feel like he's on a surfboard, to be honest, but it's like going forward. They're like the word pace. Let me just move this a little bit. I just don't want it to fall down but I love the fact they're showing the cycle of the moon right now. So heading into a new moon, Deborah Silverman is actually offering a class right now. This is a self-guided learning at your own pace kind of class. I believe I will do it. Just have to see what happens. You know what I mean? If I'm meant to do it, it'll be in my life. You know what I mean? I don't know if this will make you a certified astrologist, but I feel like it's something to wear under your belt. But I feel like with, you know what I mean? I feel like things find their way into your path for some reason, So, Four of Swords. They usually talk about rest and rejuvenation. I feel like right now, in our mind, and I feel like that's what the Hermit is saying. You know what I mean? Fill your own cup right now. Take care of yourself right now. You will be successful in this emotional journey. I've seen Brian the Diamond actually post about this. Like, his anxiety was, you know what I mean? He's like, he didn't want to get up. He didn't want to go get, I believe he was late for a laser appointment. And then he had, what did he have? No, barber. Then I believe it was a laser appointment. And then he made a nail appointment. But it's just like, he didn't want to do those things. But he did something to fill his own cup. You know what I mean? And that's what I say for myself. It's like, it's great to get out there and oxygenate your blood. It's great out there to move your body. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could feel it in my thighs. Like, but even before my mom came here, I was sitting there and I was just like, okay, let me, like, get this done. Let me get this done. You know what I mean? So it's just like doing things, I feel like, to give your mind peace. And I felt like that was the biggest thing for me. I felt like going for a walk it was give my mind peace, the moon. So I feel like this is what they're showing. They're showing like this is going to go all the way. That could look like a new moon. You know what I mean? Because it's completely dark, And we're in the new moon of Pisces. So I feel like this is where they're saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, you may not feel like rest and rejuvenation right now. For me, it's just like, with the tree, it's like, it needed to come down. You know what I mean? It was just because, like, I had to move things around in the house. And it was just like, it's not difficult, but it was just like, I feel like you build it up more bigger in your head than it actually is, kind of thing. Let me check what this is. 1 second. So with the Seven of Crystals, it's like, they're talking about steadfastness, earning your way. You know what I mean? I feel like this is like a lot of things that have been knocking for myself in other parts of my life, because I know things are going to shifting, and it's like, well, I got to, sit there and shift with everything. You know what I mean? Some coins are gifted to you, but it's not the case here. Your next play may come from the sweat of your brow. Your hard work and perseverance is going to pay off. So keep your nose to the grindstone and continue laboring. It will be worth it. I was just talking about this, and I was just like, I wasn't sure what the crystals meant in this deck, because this is something that I've pulled from, and I'm a fan of this deck, but it's just like something I don't really pull from all the time. But you know what I mean? I feel like it's like those deeper decks, especially when you're going through emotional situations. You know what I mean? It's just like getting to it. So the Hermit is the number 9. So I feel like change. And this is why I was saying to my kids, it's like, I don't feel like this all the time. Not saying like, every year that passes, I don't feel some sort of way. But it's like, I've made my peace with the situation. You know what I mean? It's like, unfortunately, he passed away. It wasn't something that was timed. You know what I mean? And it's like, one thing I wrote down through the journey that I got to in the passages that I have, it's just like, oh, look at that. Temperance is sticking out here. Balancing your emotions. So we're heading into spring, like, weather. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is where they're like, balancing those emotions. This is strength gaining their wings. So in definition has gone through a transformation. Temperance, where it's balancing your emotions, and they're showing like the dahlias, not dahlias. Are they not? What are they called? Daffodils? Not daffodils. Are they daffodils? They usually around March they start selling them for cancer research. I believe it's the flower of the symbol for cancer research. Oh my gosh, what is it called? Daffodil? Maybe daffodil. But I love them. They're one of my favorite flowers. The first house we moved to after Shane passed away and moved to New Brunswick, they had daffodils, I believe they're daffodils, surrounding the side of the house. So, like, you know what I mean? And I saw some growing in, like, Giant Tiger had tulips and daffodils. I'm pretty sure it's daffodils growing in pots. And I was like, oh, I grabbed them. So they grew last year, but they have outgrown the pot, so they didn't really flower. But I want to sit there and get some pots out and replant them. But I feel like this is what they're saying. Like, you're going through a journey. It's kind of going with the flow. Like, with the Hermit card down here. You know what I mean? When they're saying, like, you will succeed through this, allow, this is where you allow, you summon, you know what I mean? You call upon your guardian angels, archangels, your loved ones, Yahweh, Yeshua, whomever you believe in, Gaia, Mother Earth, you know what I mean? And it's just like, just to guide you through this time. It's kind of like you're going autopilot, but it's like you feel what you're feeling. But you know what I mean? That's where I feel like they're saying 4 of daggers, where it's like the 4 of swords in reverse. So it's like rest and rejuvenation. So, you know what I mean? Like, they're saying, like, that, which you get positive confirmation with the 7 of crystals. Is like, put your nose to the ground and you know what I mean? Keep going, And I feel like this is where they're showing with this new moon cycle. Like, you know what I mean? We're in Pisces. It's emotional. You know what I mean? But I feel like with the temperance coming out, it's just like, even though this is going on, you know what I mean? It's just like, learn to balance that. Where we were sitting there and we went for a walk. It's like, I didn't want to, but I knew it would be good for me. It would be good for all of us. Darkness and unconsciousness. So you're lost at the night with the only moonlight to guide you. Not everything is clear. Shadows dance around you, and the noises come from just out of sight. So this is where I feel like it's like, when we were talking about that with the last pull we did, I said, it's like, you got to really watch that. Because it's like you're living in the light, and we were really in a great space, you know what I mean? And it's just like out of no, I know where it came from, but it's just like the shadow side comes in. You know what I mean? And it's like learning to deal with those battles when they do come in. And think about it with the new moon, it's like we look for the moonlight to guide us, you know what I mean? And the darkness, you know, so they talk about our emotions, you know what I mean? So, I wouldn't say so much depression. I feel like it's more of grief. I feel like it's, you know what I mean? It's not to the point where, you know what I mean? It's just like I'm sitting there looking at the wall there. And I'm so thankful. I take millions and millions of pictures of these kids and of Shane and videos and everything like that because it's like, thank God. You know what I mean? Because the boys were very young. You know what I mean? Michael was only turning 7. Junior was only turning 9. You know what I mean? That is a very formative age at that age. You know what I mean? And that's where it's just like I always tell them, like, we're the only family we got. We got to stick together. When one is going through it, the rest of us have to circle the other one and help them go through it. You know what I mean? It's just like we got you in this storm. Kind of like Inside Out #2, where she's saying, like, you know, not robbing. You know what I mean? She's like, you know, not letting, you know, anxiety overcome our joy. You know what I mean? Where that's where they're showing her, Joyce Meyer, where she was talking about that. Don't let poo-poo thoughts sit there and make a poop day. Yeah, we're going through things, but it's not just because we're having a poop, you know, day of emotions, you know, like in my case, we're, you know, grieving emotions. It's just like, at the same time, I'm very lucky to have him in my life as long as I did. I'm very lucky and blessed that he was the kid's father. You know what I mean? You know, doing the things we did, taking the kids to the Toronto Zoo, African Lion Safari, you know, trips to their grandparents' houses, trips to their mamere's house with their aunt and their cousins, and playing on the trampoline in the playhouse, and you know what I mean? Like, even when we moved here, going on hay rides, apple picking, going to Catacat, you know, seeing the seals and stuff like that. There's, you know what I mean? That it's just like you could sit there and it's like you could either surround yourself, you know what I mean? Where, you know, there's one person in particular, we talk about this, but it's like where bitterness really, it either situations like grief could sit there and either make you bitter or make you better. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's what we give weight to. It's what we give power to. Like someone actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, I keep getting this number and it's seen as a bad number." And I said, "It is only a bad number if you see it as a bad number." You know, even I learned that from not Deborah Silverman, Sylvia Brown. She sat there. She's wearing, you know, a pendant. She wears them, and then, you know, she sends it to the person that purchased it. You know, with giving her energy on it. But she's like, it's what you give the power to. You know what I mean? Like you wear your third eye necklace, it's what you give the power to. We wear our cross, our rosary, whatever we wear, you know what I mean? Because we feel like somehow, some way that offers us some safe, you know, some sort of security. You know, we wear bracelets. You know, I wear rose quartz. It's a jade bracelet. It looks rose quartz now because it's been in the sun. So it was a pink jade. You know what I mean? So no, it wasn't pink. It was white. It turned pink. I don't know. I can't remember. All I know is my son was just like, look, it's changed color. So now it's pink. I don't know. It changes colors. But it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just being kind to yourself in this time. It's like I love the fact that the Six of Moons is there and it's like they're showing you your third eye and it's just like you've been through worse in your life, God forbid. But it's just like you will see the other side of this. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is where the Hermit is like, this is just a cycle. You know, I mean, we got Temperance. It's like learning to balance our emotions. Yes, feel your emotions, but don't let it sit there and consume you. Don't let it suffocate you. You know what I mean? Especially the fact that, you know, it is a Pisces new moon. And the new moon, we do feel the heavier energy. Because I was like, what's the moon cycle right now? What's the moon cycle right now? You know what I mean? Because I don't watch Deborah on a daily anymore. You know what I mean? So it's just, maybe I should get back into that, especially if I do take her class. But it's just like, you know, feel your way through the emotions. Do something positive for yourself. You know, even if it's something small and, you know what I mean? Be thankful for all the big and small things that happen in our life. Some things that we just kind of look over. It's like, you know, for the fact that we have food on our table, the fact that we have a roof over our head. You know what I mean? Some days we completely forget and think like, yeah, I work hard. But it's just like once upon a time, like, you know, with us, you know, that, you know, this is where it's like, you know, the passages come in. It's like, sure-footed like a deer. Even when you don't feel sure-footed, you know, Yahweh Yeshua, make sure you're sure-footed. You know, you could be slip on the rocks. You could do this. You could do that. And it's like, no, just walk. I got you in this, you know. This is like the Enchanted Forest where they have the white hart there. It's a buck. And it's like you're about to go through, you know, we got the Hermit #9, you know, this closure. We keep getting there's this closure going on. and we're entering something brand new. You know what I mean? And we all think it's gonna be like tiptoe. They're playing through tiptoe through the tulips with me. You know what I mean? That's what we all think it's gonna be. But you know, they have the nightmare of cups. You know, this ace of cups, and it's just like, you know, in this nightmarish time and these nightmarish feelings, don't forget to fill your cup. Me and my girlfriend were talking about that, and I'm like, you know, she's like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. I'm like, girl, you've been doing a lot. I'm like, rest. She did it anyway, because me and her are the same way. It's like it nags us until we do it. But it's just like, you know, we just like now. I could have napped, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna nap, and then I'm gonna nap even longer, and then I could have got that done. You know what I mean? And I got it done. So now it won't nag me as much. But it's just like, you know, do things that make you happy. That makes me happy. You know, I could have napped, but honestly, I'm happy to see that done, and it really does make, like, you know what I mean. It just, something in me just makes me happy that it's done. But make sure you make time for yourself, make space for yourself is what they're saying. Sit there and be kind to yourself. They're saying the word spices. I don't know if something with spices. You know, I know Ramadan starts soon, but they're talking about spices here. You know, anointment. So maybe you're a place of worship, and they do the, you know, with some spices, put a symbol on your forehead is what they're showing. You know, again with the third eye, meditation. You know, making time for yourself, making space for yourself again. You know what I mean? Cut out that window of space for yourself. You know, like even this weekend, I'm like, I wasn't gonna listen to my hymns, and something was just like, you're going through it emotionally, just listen to the hymns. You know. It's like I cried this weekend. It's just like, you know, because I had the Dream Machine, and you know what I mean, one of my favorite times, and it's just like, you know, just feel your emotions. You know, again, just because you have a day where you're emotional or you're going through something, or you know, your body feels, you know what I mean, that like something happened around this time, muscle memory. You know what I mean? It's just like, let your body feel it. You know what I mean? Some, like, for me, for some years, it's like, yep, you know, it's just something that I've come to accept, and you know what I mean? I still got to keep pushing on, got to keep on keeping on, and I'm still keep on keeping on. But I'm also going to allow myself to feel what I'm feeling right now. You know, do something nice for yourself today. Give yourself a hug. Sit there. They're showing a nice bath. How delicious is that? Go sit there and pour yourself a nice warm bath. Maybe some Epsom salt. They're mentioning lavender. You know what I mean? Lighting some candles. Do it safely. Make sure your curtain's out of the way, or, you know, hopefully you don't have a curtain. But, you know, if you do, make sure it's, you know, tied back so it's not going to fall down, and, you know, you're safe. But just little things that you can do for yourself that will make a world of a difference, you know? And it's just like, you know, wake up the next day by God's grace and sit there and try all over again. You know, again, a bad day does not equal a bad life. A bad moment, a blip, you know, a week, you know what I mean? But we keep on keeping on. We keep on trying, you know? And that's what you just keep saying to yourself. You know, if all I did today was survive, you know, at least I'm making those steps. And like with myself, I was like, we could sit down, we could, or go for a nap, or we could go for a walk. I could sleep in today, and you know what I mean? I'm sure my mom would have loved just to rest today, but we all went for a walk. It was nice. Sonny got to go out and go crazy with the snow. The boys had a good time. You could see that their energy has changed. So it's just like little things. You don't think that the little things would add up to something, they do. The trails were all snowed in, but you know what I mean? We still made the most of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this timeless spread. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next one.